this is lecture number 8, classification of nutrients, and the next part of this lecture will be water as a nutrient. So before starting this class, just a little message. We should work like professionals. Whatever the circumstances are, whatever the issues, so we have to be a good professional. And one more lesson. So life is more strict than a teacher. A teacher teaches a lesson and then takes an exam. But life takes an exam and then teaches a lesson. So this is the reality of life. So rather than considering a teacher as strict, we should consider a life as a more strict. This is our topic, classification of nutrient. So do you have any idea what is a nutrient? When we talk about feed, so that's a mixture of a combination of different type of feed stuff. Like if we talk about feed of poultry birds, feed of dairy animals, we formulate that as a combination of different type of feed stuff. It contains corn, wheat, rice polish. It also contains urea, other protein stuff like cottonseed cake, meals. So that make a feed. So feed is a combination of different type of feed stuffs. So within each feed stuff, there are different chemicals. Like if we talk about egg or talk about corn, so they contain different type of chemicals. Those chemicals are known as nutrients. So we define nutrient, a chemical compound or a substance that have a specific function in the nutritive support of an animal life. So this is what we say a feed stuff that contain nutrient. So within each feed stuff, we have different nutrients. So when we talk about the type of nutrients, or we talk about these chemical substances, so they are made up of different elements. So there are more than 100 elements, but out of those, only 20 elements make up this nutrients. So from these 20 elements, almost 40 chemicals or 40 nutrients, they are available or they are considered as a nutrient because they support life or working of individual body. But these 40 nutrients, they are not all are, you can say, the essential nutrients. Some of those nutrients, they are required in a diet. Some of those, they are not required in a diet, but they are synthesized in the body. So when we talk about major nutrients, so there are 6 main classes of nutrients. The first one is water. Though in some cases, you can say that water is not a nutrient if we consider the definition of nutrient. It's a chemical compound, but it do not have a nutritive support of the body, meaning it do not provide any sort of nutrition. But its close relationship with the body and its multiple role in the body and its role in nutrient metabolism, we consider water as a nutrient because water do not provide uh, any energy to the body. It do not provide any building block like amino acids to the body, but for digestion, absorption, metabolism, for all these processes, water is required. So that's why we consider water as a nutrient. Then the major nutrient is carbohydrate, fat, and proteins. These three are considered as macronutrients. Macro means they are required in large amount. So that's why we say they are the macronutrients. Then comes minerals and vitamins. Minerals and vitamins, there are a long list of minerals and vitamins. They are required by the body. Some of them they are required in a very minute quantity, and some are not required as such, but they are the part of some enzymes, so they required uh, in a very minute amount. So they are, you can say that they are further classified into macro minerals, micro minerals, trace elements. Vitamins are mainly two types: water soluble and fat soluble vitamins. Because vitamin and minerals they are required in small quantity, or they are a very small portion of a complete diet, so that's why they are known as micronutrients. So this is the difference between macro and micronutrients. Macro which required in large amount, while micro which required in small amount. So what is the quantity? Usually the minerals and vitamins, they are required gram or less than gram or in ppm. Then about role or functions of different nutrients. So there are three major or basic roles or functions they are performed by the nutrients. The first function is known as the basic functions, and the second major function is known as accessory functions. Basic functions are of three types. The first one is they are the structural component of the body. Like if we consider the example of a building construction, we need bricks, we need metal or for making these pillars. So that's the structural material. So under the basic function, that component is known as a structural material for building and maintaining the body structure. Examples are bones, muscles, skin, organs. So they are the structural material of the body. And the second under this is the maintenance. When we have a building structure, that structure we need repair and maintenance, because if there is a little damage to that structure, so that could harm the complete or entire building. So their maintenance is required. In building case, we say it's repair. In body case, there are the regular supply of nutrients so that the bones, the muscles, they should be uh, there in that particular state. Second is they are the source of energy. They provide heat, and they also provide energy for work, or in some cases if there is a require for fat deposition, like those animals who are live in a cold climate, they need fat. Similarly, the fat-tailed sheep, they need fat in their tail deposition. So this is the second function. This is similar to the building. When we have a building, to maintain a very thermoneutral environment or a conducive environment for working, we need electricity, we need gas to maintain the temperature, to maintain the air circulation. So this is the second function under the basic functions of the nutrient. They are required to keep the body warm, or you, in other way, you can say for the homeostasis of the body, and to provide energy for the work or functioning of that structure. Third is regulators. Like in case of building, if we have electricity is there, gas is there, but for how much quantity is required, and then how to regulate the flow of that electricity or gas, we need switch, we need regulator like fan regulators, so that either we can switch on, or we can switch off the electricity or. So for regulating body processes, same, we need such regulators. So these regulators, they are enzymes and hormones. They are uh, produced in the body, and they help to maintain the body by triggering some actions or by stopping some actions. So these enzymes and hormones, they are the regulators of the body. So under the basic, there are three functions. The first one is structure. Second is to maintain that structure, energy or its functioning. We need energy. Third one is regulating the processes. Second function of the nutrient is the accessory functions. Even bodies maintained, then we look for some productive function from the body, particularly when we talk about animals. So they are known as accessory functions, like milk production, egg production, and for the development of the fetus in case of pregnant animals. So these accessory functions, they are similar to like the mobile phone. Okay, we purchase a mobile phone, so we need some accessories like we need headphone or we need pouch to keep that mobile under safe condition. So similar, these are the functions. If they are not performed by the animal, uh, we can maintain the body. So for the productivity, nutrition is required. So if animal is not performing like dry animals, they do not produce milk, but still we keep those animals, but at that time no nutrition is required for milk or egg production when animal is not producing. So that's why we say these are the accessory functions, okay, without which we can live, animal can live, but from economic point of view, these accessory functions are more important than the maintenance of the body. But maintenance of body has its own importance. Without maintaining the body, we cannot get production. Okay, if we are not physically fit, we cannot run, we cannot play. So that's the reason, okay, we have to first fulfill the requirement for body maintenance and body functioning, then we can get production from the body. So this is a summary of all the nutrients, what type of nutrients we have and what are the functions they are performing. Here, the first one is the protein. Protein that is a part of structural material for the body, that also help in energy production. And sometime if carbohydrate and fat they are not present in the diet or deficient, then protein is utilized for the production of energy in the body. And then for the formation of body regulators, there are a number of enzymes. They are protein, mostly enzymes. They are protein in nature. Similarly, hormones, they are also protein in nature. Not all, some hormones like reproductive hormones, estrogen, progesterone, they are steroidal hormones. Then accessory functions are also performed. Amino acids or protein, they are present in the milk, egg, meat. So it means protein is performing both basic and accessory functions. Then we talk about the carbohydrate. Carbohydrate are not the structural component of the body, but the carbohydrate which are excess in body, they are converted into fat and that enter into makeup, or they are being utilized for the cellular growth of the body. Similar is the case with the fat. It is as such not a structural component of the body, or not used as a structural material, uh, that is a part of cell membrane or for cellular growth. And similarly, for the formation of body regulators, certain fatty acids they are used. Not all fat is required, or all type of fat has not been required for the synthesis of body regulators. I have given the example of steroid that are made up of some type of fat. Minerals, they are the structural component, but they are not used for the production of energy, or not they are directly providing the energy. Rather, they are the part of certain enzymes that are involved during glycolysis or during energy or catabolic processes. So minerals and vitamins, they are not directly taking part in the production of energy. Rather, they are indirectly used as a prosthetic group or as a part of some enzymes. Vitamins are not the structural component. The rest of the functions, like regulators, yes, vitamins they are very good regulators. Water is a structural component. Yes, we say because bones contain water. that is present over there. Similarly, minerals, they are present in the bones. That's why they are the part of the structural material of the body. Similarly, cell shape is maintained by the presence of water. But water is not being used for the production of energy, though it help in energy dissipation or thermoregulation of the body. Uh, for the formation of body regulators, yes, water is required because during these processes or for the production of enzymes, the water is being either in some reactions it is being directly used or in some reactions produced. Then for accessory functions, all of the nutrients they are the part of the product which are produced by the animal. So this is all about the functions classification and function of nutrient. So just come to the first nutrient. Uh, this is water. We continue this lecture tomorrow as a ninth lecture, and we will discuss in detail about water, but we will start today. So we will discuss about the water functions, its sources, then its metabolism, and also the water quality along with the factor affecting the water requirement. So this is the importance of water, why water is required in the body. As I have mentioned earlier, uh, water is not providing providing energy to the body, but it has a lot of function in the body. If you look at uh, the water role in the body, this is the most vital nutrient. And when we look at the body composition, either human or animal, so around 70% of the fat-free animal body weight is made up of water. It means if we remove fat from the body, then there is 70% water in the body. If you just look at the milk, that is only 13% total solids and 87% is water. This is how much you can see the quantity of water in milk. And similarly, if we talk about uh, human being, so in case of adult individual, there is around 60% body weight is comprised of water. Next most important thing about water is that body can lose nearly all fat and half of its protein and live. But when there is a loss of 10 to 15% of water, that is around 20% of the body weight of an individual, it may lead to death of an individual. I mean, this is how much water is important, and that's why the nature is so kind enough. It provided water to us at a very cheaper rate. So when we talk about all nutrients, so among that, water is the cheapest nutrient on a cost per unit basis. This is the cheapest nutrient available in the world, or when we comparing it with the other nutrient. Even if we compare it with the bottled water, that is still cheaper than the other nutrient. This is a brief summary of the body water content of different species. If you look at the calf, newborn calf contain 74% water, but if that is a little bulky or fatty, then around 68% of its body is comprised of the water. Steer, it is around 64%. Similarly, in case of sheep, thin sheep contain 74, or fat sheep contain 40%. Horse, hen, and human, almost they are 60 or 60 plus, is the amount of water in the body. When there is a fat, so that ultimately replaces the water. That's why the body water content fall below 50% when we get more fat. Steer, just make it clear, it's a bovine male that has been castrated early in life. Mostly they are meant for meat production or for slaughtering purpose. If we castrate a bovine animal before the appearance of secondary sexual characteristics, that animal is known as steer. In case of dairy animal, again, water is very much important, and the latest research indicated that we should offer free choice water to the animal. The water should be available 24 hours to a dairy animal, so that whenever that animal feel thirsty or would like to drink, the water should be available there. Almost 4 to 4.5 liter water is required by a cow for each liter of milk production. So roughly you can say if an animal is producing 10 liter of milk, that animal require almost 40 liter of water. And when we compare it with the dry matter intake, then for each kg of dry matter intake, there is 3 to 4 liter of water requirement. I mean, if a cow is consuming 1 kg of dry feed, dry mean almost 90 or 90 plus dry matter content, so that animal require 4 times more water. Or in general, we usually say an individual who is not lactating or not producing milk, that require almost twice. If we take about, if we consider human being as an example, if we are eating 1 kg of feed on dry matter basis, so we need at least twice water. Twice means 2 liter of water. So dairy cow usually consume 3 to 4 unit of water for each unit of dry feed consumed. Usually a dairy animal, which is a high producer cow, it can consume up to around 100 liter of water, 50 to 100 liter of water on daily basis. And a single cow may consume up to 140 liter of water daily via drinking water and also the water that is coming through the feed. Like if we are feeding green fodder to the animal, so that green fodder contain 80% moisture. Drinking water usually provide 80 to 90% of the water need. There are different sources of water we will discuss in the coming slides. So irrespective of those sources, drinking water is the major source. So that's why we recommend that in a dairy shed, water should be available freely 24 hours. Like the nutrients, there are a lot of functions which are performed by the water. Here I have given two major functions of the water. The reason being, we are not going into detail of all the functions. We will mainly emphasize on those functions which are related to its role in body metabolism and in thermoregulation. The reason being because we are here considering water as nutrient. So how that water is playing a role in nutrient metabolism in the body, and second, its role in thermoregulation, because body temperature regulation is directly related to the amount of water in the body. At high temperature, more evaporation, so ultimately more water is required. So today we will only discuss the properties, and then we will wind up this lecture. Water and body metabolism. If you remember and if you recall your knowledge, water has a very good solvent property. Most protoplasm is a mixture of colloid and crystallide in water, and that's why it's an ideal thing for the dispersal of organic and inorganic molecules, and it facilitates in cell reactions. The second most important property of water is its surface tension. Surface tension is actually the tension of the surface film of a liquid that is caused by the attraction of the particles in the surface layer by the bulk of the liquid, which tend to minimize the surface area. So this property helps water, and it reduces the evaporation of the liquid. And it also helps in pulmonary function. Just if you put a single strip like this is blood testing strips or blood sugar strips near the blood, so blood automatically move into the upward direction of the strip. So that is due to this properties of the water. Similarly, this property help in the water taking up inside the plant. So water acts as a transport medium and as a diluent that facilitate this digestion, transportation, and excretion of other nutrient. Then It also involved in a number of biochemical reactions like hydrolysis, where water is a substrate in the reaction, and their oxidation process, where water is produced as a result of a reaction. So it means water is either utilized, or water is either produced as a product in different type of reactions. So that provide facilitation for different biochemical reactions. So when we talk about this thermoregulation, the water features like its high specific heat, thermal conductivity, and high latent heat of vaporization. These three properties make this water to be a good for thermoregulation. So it absorbs the metabolic heat. Here given the value, water absorbs 4.184 joule of heat for the temperature of 1 gram of water to rise up to 1 degree Celsius. If we want to raise the temperature of water at 1 degree Celsius, then 4.184 joules of energy or heat is required. And the second, it's uh, latent heat of vaporization. One gram of water, it took 580 calories when changes from liquid to vapor state. It means it absorbs a lot of heat until it get evaporated. So these properties help water to regulate the body temperature. So this is all for today. Next, we will discuss about body water distribution and other functions of